Why riding motorcycles is the best thing to do. Let's get into this one. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So I just come back from a joyous ride on the back road. So I went off to a little cafe that I know, and yeah, really nice. But the journey was terrible. I was stuck behind traffic, slow-moving lorries, narrow roads, couldn't get by them, and everybody seemed to be doing half the speed limit, unnecessarily slow. It was just a crappy journey. But it would have been 10 times worse if I was in a car. So this is the point I like to make for riding a motorcycle and the benefits of it. And this is not related to any particular type of motorcycle either. Now, I ride a Harley Davidson, as you know, but I could be riding anything. For me, riding a motorcycle, whatever it is, just gives me a great sense of well-being. But also, I'm out in the world, I'm out in nature, I can feel everything. I'm not cocooned in a tin box. I'm actually feeling the wind, I'm feeling the temperature, I can feel the rumble on the road. Anytime a lorry goes by or a car goes by, I can feel it swish by, if that's a word. But I'm immersed in the environment, and that's why I like so much. But if I'm in a car, I lose that sensation, or in a truck or whatever it is, I lose that sensation. Now, of course, you get the benefit of comfort, but you lose out on so much more. And that's why I love riding motorcycles so much, regardless of what it is. Now, in the last 10 or so years, my riding style has definitely changed. It's changed from more of a speed riding, destination getting to type of riding to more of a leisurely type of riding. And this really started when I swapped one of my faster bikes, the ZZR 1400 Kawasaki, for a Triumph Explorer big adventure bike. And I started to go a lot more off-road riding, a lot more trail riding, and just going on trails that I really shouldn't have been going on possibly, but just getting out into the countryside. And I was going naturally a lot slower. And then very soon after that I started doing this, I started to slow down even further, just to take in the environment and appreciate where I was. Then this continued out onto the road as well. I started to slow down and adopt a more leisurely style of riding. Now, of course, every now and again I do twist it on, and I do enjoy a bit of speed every now and again, but more often than not, I'm more into the leisurely riding. But when I come up against traffic, I don't want to stick behind it. I want to get past it. And it's not because I want to go fast again. It's because I actually want nothing in front of me. I want an open road in front of me. That's kind of what I like to be, whether it's in a car, but especially on a bike. Like an open road, a clear view directly ahead of me. And that's what I really like. So yeah, if I come up against traffic, I like to get around it. But if it's slow-moving traffic, especially, you've got so many more opportunities of getting around it on a motorcycle. If you're riding in the cities, in the towns, so much more opportunities just to filter through and get to where you need to get to. So it's a great congestion-easing vehicle. It's great when congestion and traffic is there. You can get through it really quickly. You can beat everybody to the lights. You can beat virtually any vehicle off the lights and carry on your way. There are so many more overtaking opportunities, and you can make the journey whatever you want it. You can make it exhilarating or you can make it leisurely. Now, as I say, my style of riding has gone more into sort of cruising, touring, leisurely riding, just taking in my environment a lot more and appreciating my environment, even when I'm just on the normal roads. Most of my riding is on the road. In fact, all of it is on the road pretty much these days, but I'm still taking in the environment. And that's why I love that feeling so much. But the problem with this is that you cannot convey it to anybody unless they experience it themselves. I've tried repeatedly trying to explain what this feeling is to people who don't ride motorcycles in particular is a very difficult thing to do. Now, lots of people talk about freedom. Oh, it's the freedom. And, you know, I never really consider it in those terms, but I suppose there is an element of that. But for me, it is really just about being out in that environment, that riding environment. And it's the physical senses, it's those visual senses, those audible senses, the smells of the road, sometimes even the taste as well, the discomfort as well. That's part of it. And the discomfort is not always because it's too hot or it's too cold or it's raining. It's sometimes just a discomfort of just being on the road and feeling all the road road beneath you as well, especially on a longer ride. That's what I really love. I've always loved the challenge of riding, and I love the challenge of riding, especially when most people are not other riding as well. In the winter months, for example. I love that. I love getting out onto the road when it's peeing down with rain and nobody else is on the road, and you think, well, I'm the only one here. But I love that. I love that feeling. Whilst it's uncomfortable and whilst I'm cursing the weather and cursing my fingers that I can't feel, I actually love it. That's part of it. But say, trying to explain that to somebody else, they probably think you're a little bit daft, you're a little bit loopy. And this is the problem with motorcycling. It's such an individual thing that you've got to experience it. Most people go in a car as a passenger. They know what it's about. Whilst they might not be driving that vehicle, they understand they're in a tin box and they're going through traffic. But getting on a motorcycle or on a scooter or whatever it is, many people never experience that. So to convey that is actually quite difficult. And I find it difficult with, people I know, my friends, or, family or whatever, because they don't experience it, they don't know it, and they don't know the joy that it brings you. Now, of course, you can get a similar kind of joy, pleasure in other activities. Of course you can. But I'm just talking about motorcycling right now. And this is what I feel. Riding a motorbike especially, is the best thing that you can do. It's the best feeling that you can do. It's the best cleansing that you can do. And then people talk about motorcycle therapy and all that kind of stuff, but it is an individual thing, and you get out of it what you put into it, of course. And I say lots of people, for me, get into motorcycling for not necessarily the wrong reasons, but they're different reasons to why I always got into motorcycling. And for me, it was always a very much an individual thing. It's a subjective thing. It's something quite personal to me, and it's something that I experience. And I always say the only way to fully appreciate riding motorcycles is actually to get on one, as a passenger, or certainly as a rider yourself, and to go out and experience all the different weather conditions, the good, the bad, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, longer journeys, shorter journeys, different types of roads, different times of day. I mean, some of the most spiritual times that I've had in my life have been on a motorcycle. And I use spiritual very loosely, of course, but what I'm saying is it's that kind of Zen moment, that kind of feeling of tranquility and calm, that you're on a motorcycle. And yes, it can coincide with a sunset ride or something like that. It's just the environment that you're in, and it's that perfect moment that you're on your bike, you're riding it, and yeah, you've got this little smile on your face and everything seems to be well with the world. And it might only be for a brief moment, but it's there. And the more you ride, the more of these moments that you have. So this is why it's so addictive to many people. It's not only the fast riding or the exhilaration or the thrills or whatever you want to say. It can change throughout your life, and you can get different things out of motorcycling. I still say riding a motorcycle is probably one of the best things you can do. Just getting out there and experiencing it for yourself. But unfortunately, it's probably one of the most difficult things that I find to be able to explain to somebody else. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But if you ride motorcycles, you're probably going to agree with me, right? But let us know what your ultimate feeling is on a motorcycle and why it appeals to you so much, and maybe why it doesn't appeal to other people, or also maybe why it doesn't appeal to younger people so much these days. But that's for another video. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for future videos. And I will catch you again in another video coming very soon. Bye now.